We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard Narad Goswami said to Vyasadeva, what you did is very wrong. Because conditioned souls, due to misidentification of self with the body, they naturally have these material desires and they are inclined to enjoy. And you have given them impetus for that disease. You told them about dharma, artha, kama. So you have supported that. How then you can be happy? Then Vyasadeva said, I gave for liberation also. Then Narad said, that is even worse, because by that they will be deprived of service of Krishna for all time. You did not sing the glories of Krishna. I did in Mahabharata and Gita. Then Narad said that is for liberation's sake, not for Krishna's satisfaction. So what you did is Mahan Vyatikrama, very wrong. And because they are guided under your instructions, they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. Vichakshano syarhati veditum vibhor ananta parasya nivritti tah sukham pravarta manasya gunair anatmanas tato bhavan darsha cheshtitam vibho. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality, retired from the activities of material happiness, deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness through descriptions of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. One who gave up that hope, or better to say that illusion, that one can be happy by material enjoyment, he will search for actual bliss and he will get it. And those who are very much attached, then they need some means how to come out. So here Narad Goswami said, you will have to show that way. How? By describing the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. When they will hear and they will chant, they will get higher bliss, as in the case of Ambrish Maharaj. We will come later in Bhagavatam. He, in his kingdom, he gave a rule. It is compulsory to hear Harikatha daily, all citizens. So, because of that, they had no other desires. For Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, not for heavenly plans, no desire. Because they got higher taste. So that is the way. But there is a condition. Harikatha must come from a realized soul. And one has to hear with attention and also think about that. As we heard in the case of Gokarna and Dundukari. Tyaktva sadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan apakko tapate tato yadi yatra kva vabhadram abhut amushyakim ko varta apto bhajatam swadharmata. one who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. Because Vyasadeva asked Narad, something is wrong. You know what is wrong in me, I don't know. What is the defect? And you tell me and how I can rectify. So Narad is now telling what you have to do. And this verse is very important also. Swami Maharaj used to say many times in his lectures, I heard on recordings, if someone follows Varna Ashram Dharma perfectly, but has no attraction for Harikatha of Supreme Lord, then what he will gain? Nothing. No actual benefit for the soul. But someone gave up Varnashram Dharma to engage in the service of Krishna, but he slipped and fell down. What he will lose? Nothing he will lose. Because what he did for the service of Krishna, that is permanent in his account. He will not lose anything. And this one does not gain anything, because that is temporary everything. So what he will lose, this one, he will lose maybe some material enjoyment. Devotee will lose some material enjoyment, that is no problem. Nothing he will lose, and that devotion will stay. And it is like a child who is trying to stand up and to walk, he will fall many times. But if he repeatedly tries, then one day he will walk. Like that, in sadhana, sometimes we may little deviate, but Krishna will catch us and Gurudev will catch us like affectionate mother and will encourage us further, and gradually we can come fully out of this Maya and attain our constitutional occupation, real transcendental constitutional occupation, that is service of Krishna, because we are his. When we are in this world, we are bound by Triguna. So according to Triguna, we have some occupation. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, this. But that is changing and temporary. But if we do according to scripture, those duties, that will help us advance. But it is meant that we should come to the point of service of Krishna directly for his satisfaction. So this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, this you should not encourage. You have to give devotion to Krishna. Taseva hetoh prayateta kovido nalabhyate yat brahmatam uparyadha talabhyate dukkhavat anyatah sukham kalena sarvatra gabira ramhasa. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. Because if you follow Varna Ashram Dharma as a sannyasi for 100 lives perfectly, then you can come to Brahma's abode, Brahmaloka. If you commit sins, you will go down to Patala. And then you will rotate according to your karma. So those who are intelligent, they endeavor for purposeful end, which cannot be obtained by following this karma. That is something different. beyond this. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. This is the same as Prahlad Maharaj told to demon boys when he was teaching them, because he is a perfect disciple. Here Narad is telling to Vyas this point. And Narad is the guru of Prahlad. So Prahlad accepted all the teachings of his guru and was following. And he told to those demon boys, I am only telling you what I got from my Gurudev. That is perfect Guru Parampara, and that is truth. Truth is truth. So you should not endeavor for worldly happiness. You will lose time. Waste your time. As no one wants suffering, but it comes automatically due to our past karma. Like that, this worldly opulence and these things will also come automatically without trying for it. But if we try, then we will waste our time. We should engage in the service of Krishna, not be diverted to other things. That is the point, that we should not waste time. Precious time in our human birth for other things. Anyhow, they are temporary and they are always changing. And we already have so much in store in our karma, so why to increase that store? No use. We got this human birth to increase our devotion to Krishna. That store we have to fill up. Navai jano jatu katan chanavrajen mukunda sevyan yavat anga samsritim smaran mukundangri upaguhanam punar vihatum ichena rasa graho jana. My dear Vyas, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, furtive workers, etc. Because a person who has once relished the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. Even he will fall down, he will be attracted, but when he will again enjoy that for what he was attracted, it will not be same taste as was before. He will realize this. Before I was fully happy, but now doing same thing, you will not have same taste, because already you got something. And gradually you will give that up and serve Krishna. Our Gurudev gave one example. He said, I saw many, they came as brahmacharis to the mat, and after some time they married, and they were like enjoying for some time, but after that they could not continue that. And though they were staying in house, but they were staying separate from everything. They were doing bhajan and not involved in other things. He said, I saw many such cases. They were not like ordinary householders, because already they were getting some higher knowledge in the mat and some service they did, and that had impact. So due to some weakness, they wanted to enjoy, but that did not last long, that interest. So they and also another one example, once Gurudev was preaching in Assam, and one person after the Harikatha, he said, "You spoke very nicely. And in our village, there is also one person, he's like you. He's also speaking very intelligently and very nicely. So I think you should meet him also. You will be happy to meet him." And we say, okay. Then they brought Gurudev to that house, and Gurudev said, oh, he knew him. He was one brahmachari from our mat, but he left and went to Houseful Life and was doing in that village. So Gurudev said, although he was a failure in Gauriya Mat, means could not remain permanently in that sense, like failure, but what he got in that period of time when he was there, he became the most intelligent and most learned person and respected person in that village. Highest position in that village he got just for some time staying in the mat. So Gurudev was happy to meet him, and he saw he's doing bhajan. That was some temporary weakness, but he overcome and is doing bhajan. So like here, Narad is telling, yes, it may happen. He will be attracted due to some pressure of past karma or some offense or something, but that will not last long. As our Ramgati Prabhu also, he was initiated by Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he did one Braja Mandal Parikrama with him. And he was very enthusiastic devotee, our Gurudev told, there in Sarbo Gauriya Mat, playing Mridanga, and he was also respected by local devotees, and he was a rich person. But after the disappearance of Prabhupada and his family members' influence, maybe due to some karma pressure or something, he succumbed to their influence and he lost his sadachar, means proper behavior as a Vaishnava. He took off this Tulsi Mala and he started to take fish and did not chant and like this. Then after 3 years he became sick, dead sick, on the bed. Doctor said he will die. So when he was dying, already in this world it seemed that he's dead. And he saw in that vision, subtle some vision he got, that those fishes are coming to eat him. And he could recognize they are the same fishes I ate. He recognized, and they were biting him and making sound, pock, pock, pock. Very frightening. Then suddenly the Yamadutas came, very frightening figure. And they told to those fishes, no, don't eat him now yet. First we will tie him in that tree, then you can eat him in peace. So they tied him and they were dragging him on the ground through very sharp stones. He was getting much pain and he said, no, I can walk also to that place. Why you have to drag me? They said, no, like this. We have to you have to be dragged there. He was getting so much pain and so much fear. They were frightening, and those fishes, they were waiting to eat, and he was totally afraid. Then suddenly, because of past good deeds, eternal good deeds, suddenly he remembered that Brajamandal Parikrama, and he said, Gurudev, Prabhupada, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram. Because this kirtan they were doing in Brajadham. Then that vanished. And he became alive again. And totally good health. And others, when he stood up, when he like sat from that bed, they thought, oh, are you a ghost? They said, no, I'm not a ghost. And also, you are all my enemies. I will not listen to any one of you. You bring my Tulsi Mala, this for neck, and also you bring my Japa Mala. I will chant Harinam. And I will invite Vaishnavas to this house. There will be Sankirtan, Harikatha, Prasad distribution, everything. No one should say anything to me. He was realized now. He got that experience. So no one had dared to say anything. He was very serious. And from that time on, again, from our mat devotees, Gurudev and Parangudev, they start to come to his place, and there were programs, and every year he would do Brajamandal Parikrama with our mat and also Navadip Dham Parikrama till the end of his life. It is a fact. Gurudev said, I directly heard from him. He was a disciple of Prabhupada, Ramgati Prabhu from Sarbhog. So he also fell from his practice, but he was reinstated. So nothing is lost. How much you did, that is stored. But how much you do for material acquisition, that you will lose, no gain there. So they will not fall down like others, devotees. They may have some weak periods, but not ekdom fall down, like our Guru says, ekdom. Those who are yogis, gyanis, when they will go very high by their tapasya, but because of committing offense to Supreme Lord, thinking I am Supreme Lord and not adoring him, and not accepting that he is giving the fruit, not accepting his service, they will fall down ekdom, means very much they will fall down, more than they were before, just to get lesson. But devotee will not fall down like that. That remembrance will be there. Even if there is offense, Jiva Goswami says in Sandarbha, a Vaishnava offense, greatest mistake a Jiva can make. Even that offense will not destroy devotion. It will block or cover for some time until that person realizes his mistake and he rectifies. When he will rectify, he will continue from where he left. That will not be destroyed. From there where he will go further. So that is all. That is why Narad said, that is no gain. And here, if you fall, there is nothing lost. So this you have to understand and prescribe devotion. He will remember that ecstasy again, and how much he got, some higher ideas and some higher experiences that will guide him always for further. That will never be lost. Like Gajendra also, it was not lost. Idam hi vishvam bhagavan ivetaro yato jagat stana nirodha sambhava tadhi swayam veda bhavam statapite pradesha matram bhavatah pradarshitam. Another one example I just remembered now. Our Gurudev gave example. one time in Assam, in one village, there were peasants, farmers, so no one was getting any education like this. But one boy, he wanted to get education. He was inclined, and somehow father could collect some money, so he went to school and was learning. But up to 6th class, then he failed few times and could not go further. So then he came back to village, and all others, they were ridiculing him. You wanted to be educated, and now you came back, you are same as us. They were saying like this, you wanted to be big, but like this. So he was also sorry. But one day what happened? From government, some letter came. That was in British time. Some letter came in that village, and no one could read what is the meaning. Then they remember that boy, he went to school, so they gave him, and he read, and he said, yes, it states that up to that date, everyone has to give this much of tax. If not, then we will take everything. So then they gave that tax till that date, and everything was fine. So even though he failed in school, could not finish till the end, but still what he got was better. Or something is better than nothing, and it was very useful in that circumstance. Otherwise they would be more harmed. But he, at least this much knowledge he had to read that letter, and it was helpful. Like that devotee, how much he will hear Harikatha and understand some knowledge about this world and the sense gratification and bliss of serving Krishna, all this, how much he will, that will be helpful to him always. It will not be lost, and it will help him great deal. So nothing is lost, but there, whatever you gain, how much money or whatever, that is all lost. No gain. But here, no loss. Only benefit. The Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, is himself this cosmos. And still he is aloof from it. From him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated, in him it rests, and unto him it enters after annihilation. Your good self knows all about this. I have given only a synopsis. Sarvam Kaloidam Brahma, you will find in Upanishad. Everything in this world is Brahma. He is this world. Because nothing is non-different from, nothing is separate from him. Everything is non-different from him. His potency, this is. So in that sense, he is this world. But still, he is also aloof. This is his Swarup, that is his Rup, potency. We heard during Kartik. It is Achintya Beda Abeda. But everything is he. Nothing exists except him. You will find in Upanishads and then in Brahma Sutra, this point is continuously, and in Bhagavatam also. From Brahman everything comes. But Vedanta Sutra is not so clear as Bhagavatam. That is why Vyasa was not satisfied. In Bhagavatam it is very clear, direct, and giving Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila. There only Brahman is word is used. But here Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila is described, and he is the creator maintainer, destroyer of this world and everything. I have given only a synopsis, because here the word Bhagavan is used. Idam hi vishwam Bhagavan nivetaro. This world is Bhagavan. Gajendra also said, you are this world. So nothing in this world is out of control. Nothing can go out of control of Krishna. He is all good. So those who are surrendered to Krishna actually and have real connection with him, they cannot be disturbed at any time. But others will be disturbed. Tvam atmanatmanam evehi amogadrik parasya pungsha paramatmanah kalam ajam prajatam jagatah shivayatan mahanu bhava byudayo diganyatam. Your goodness has perfect vision. You yourself can know the super soul, personality of Godhead, because you are present as the plenary portion of the Lord. Although you are birthless, you have appeared on this earth for the well-being of all people. Please therefore describe the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, more vividly. Here Narad, he knows who is Vyas. That is why you will find in that verse, Shuko Veti, Shiva Veti, Vyas Veti Naveti Va, or something like that. Shukadeva Goswami knows Bhagavad Dharma, and Shiva also knows. Vyas may know or may not know. So you will find explanation of this verse by Srila Sridhar Maharaj in the sense that even those who are fully surrendered to Krishna, because Krishna is unlimited, they are still getting revelations, new and new revelations. When speaking Harikatha, it is not that I know everything, so now I will speak. No, he's surrendering, and what is coming through him, that Harikatha, even he may not know, and he will hear also. And he gave few examples, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was speaking to Sanatana Goswami. Then Sanatana Goswami said, I want to hear those 18 explanations of Atma Rama Shloka you gave to Sarvam Bhattacharya. I want to hear. Then Mahaprabhu said, I don't remember what I spoke at that time. I'm like a madman, and you are like a madman. So you want to hear from a madman. So let me see what Krishna will say through me for your sake. Let me see what meaning will come today. So Guru is also, or pure devotee is also always a medium instrument. He's not in possession of everything. So there may be practicing gurus, they are advanced devotees, they are practicing and they are advancing, and their disciples also advancing. That is also in Shastra. So he is also instrumental, but also realized souls. They never have vanity, because they know realization has got no end. And also he gave one example, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, that one time in Allahabad or somewhere, they went to one house for house program with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada spoke Harikatha there, and suddenly in between he became very strong, and some very powerful and some unusual Harikatha came. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj, I was so much attracted to what he was speaking. I was very attentively hearing. So I forgot to take notes, because I was so absorbed in what was coming now. That flow was coming. Then when they came back to their residence, then Prabhupada said, today something came. Did you make notes? Then she said, no, I forgot. Then Prabhupada was dissatisfied. Oh, I wanted to hear that again. What came today? That is not good. You did not take notes. I wanted to hear that again. It's very nice today. It can. So it can happen. Krishna is unlimited. So pure devotees, they never have any vanity. I know everything. I'm teaching. No, they are always humbler than a blade of grass. Not artificially, sincerely, because they are in connection with unlimited reality. So this is one explanation. Vyas knows or may not know, because he is acting as an instrument. But our Gurudev gave explanation, Vyasa veti na veti va. He may know or may not know is because he is sometimes playing the pastime of not knowing. Like here. Narad knows he is Vyasadev, he is Shakti Avesh Avatar. He came for the welfare of all jivas, but he's now playing the pastime of not knowing. Like Sanatana Goswami, he is Lavanga Manjari in Krishna Lila. He's serving Radharani. But here, he's telling, who am I? I don't know. And why I'm suffering? I don't know. You please tell me. Because doing Lila of like a sadhaka aspirant or Raghunath Das Goswami, he's a Manjari there in Krishna Lila. But Mahaprabhu said, now your Vairagya is not yet mature. You have to go home. Gradually you can cross over this material ocean of this. So Vyasadeva also playing the pastime, I don't know. Why I'm unhappy, I don't know. Gurudev, please tell me. You know everything. You tell me what is the cause and you give me solution. So here Narad said, you know, so you have to now describe the Lila of Krishna more vividly. That is the mistake on your part. That is why you are not happy. Idam hi pungshas tapasa shrutasya va svishtasya suktasya cha buddhi datayo avichutortah kavibir nirupito yat utama shloka gunanuvarnanam. Gurudev knows everything, what is there inside us. Even we don't know. And he's sometimes telling in advance, this is there, but you don't see. Later, you can also see, and you can understand that Gurudev was right. He knew everything. And he already gave solution even before you know there is something wrong. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerities, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns and charity, culminates in the transcendental descriptions of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. All those practices are to bring you to this point, to Harikatha. All learned circles, they concluded, it is like this. Aham puratit bhave bhava mune dasyastu kasyaschana veda vadinam nirupito balakeva yoginam shushrusane pravrishi nirvikshatam. O Muni, in the last millennium, I was born as the son of a certain maidservant, engaged in the service of Brahmanas who were following the principles of Vedanta. That is Upanishads. In Upanishads you will find all Siddhanta is there, what Mahaprabhu came to preach. Everything is there in Shastra. Mahaprabhu didn't come to preach anything new. Everything is in Shastra. So one book written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Amnaya Sutra, there he gave all the points of Mahaprabhu's teaching about Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana and giving evidences from Upanishads. There. Brihataranyaka, all there. So Vedanta means Upanishads, the end of Vedas. And then you have Vedanta Sutra, where the meaning of Upanishads is clarified so that there is no confusion. What is meant, there it is clarified. So these Brahmanas, they were following Vedanta, means transcendental knowledge of the Vedas, that is devotion to Krishna. When they were living together during the 4 months of the rainy season, I was engaged in their personal service. Like you remember, like Prahlad told to demon boys to strengthen their faith in him. He told them how I got this knowledge. He told his own story. That can be given to those who have faith. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur told his own story of Lila, but he said this should not be distributed to those who have no faith. Those who have faith can. Nowadays, everyone, they will write their own story. When they will try to present something or sell something, or they will give their own story to strengthen faith in them. So here also now, Narad Goswami will give his own story. I was engaged in their personal service because my mother was serving them, so I was doing that service, assisting. Te mai apetakila chapaler bhake dante drita kriranake nu vartini chakruh kripam yadyapi tulya darshana shushru shamane munayolpa bhashini. Although they were impartial by nature, that is Brahmin. Kshatriya is not. Brahmin is impartial. Those followers of the Vedanta blessed me with their causeless mercy. As far as I was concerned, I was self-controlled and had no attachment for sports, even though I was a boy. In addition, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. Like our Gurudev person, this was his as a child. Not interested in sports and not naughty and also not speaking much. Always engaged in some meditation or reading like this. Never demanding many things for cloth. Like father automatically, but Gurudev never demanding. He said my brothers, they were demanding from father, but I never demand. What father is giving, that is fine. So there are some persons who are not ordinary. Uchishta lepan anu modito dvijay sakrit sma bhunjatat apasta kilbishah evam pravritasya vishuddha chetasas tadharma evatma ruchi prajayate. Once only, by their permission, I took the remnants of their food, and by so doing, all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus, being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time, the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me. If we take remnants of Vaishnavas, then that will come to us. Their consciousness. And opposite, if we take food prepared by materialists, we will be affected by that. So it is stated there in Hari Bhakti Vilas, one should not eat from materialists, especially not grains. There is more. You can like take some fruits or milk that will not transfer. If you have to take anything due to some reason, fruits and milk, there is no much problem. But if you take grains, there is a problem. That will affect you, your consciousness. It is prohibited. But if we take remnants of Vaishnavas, then all sins and everything will be destroyed, and we will get proper consciousness. Tatranvaham Krishna Katah Pragayatam Anugrahena Shrinavam Manohara Tah Shradaya Me Nupadam Vishrinvata Priya Shravasyanga Mama Bhavat Ruchi. O Vyasadeva, in that association and by the mercy of those great Vedantists, I could hear them describe the attractive activities of Lord Krishna, Harikatha. And thus, listening attentively, my taste for hearing of the personality of Godhead increased at every step. Tasmin tada labda rucher mahamate priya shravasya skalita matir mama yayaham etat sat asat swamaya pashe mai brahmani kalpitam pare. O great sage, as soon as I got a taste of the personality of Godhead, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. And as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle coverings, for both the Lord and I are transcendental. You see, by hearing Harikatha, he got realization. Because why he's telling his own story? Because he is telling Vyasadeva, you have to speak Harikatha for Krishna's satisfaction. That will be for the benefit of all. Shukadeva Goswami also told to Parikshit Maharaj, no need to do anything. You have to hear Harikatha. I will speak, you hear. So, he realized, I'm not this gross and subtle body, that was my ignorance. I am beyond this, and also I am related to Supreme Lord. He is also beyond this. So that attention to hear was unflinching. That is natural when you come to the stage of Nishtha. Naturally you will be attentive to Harinam. Before that we are deviated, our mind wanders here and there. But once you realize that I am eternal servant of Krishna, then you will constantly chant, and not only that, you will be attentive to Harinam. Naturally. No need to force or practice. Naturally, you will, because you are his devotee, and you are attracted, so fixation of mind to the object of worship is there. When you subdue the anarthas. So he got this just by hearing Harikatha and taking their remnants. Itam sharat pravrishikau ritu harer Vishrinvato me nusavam yashomalam sankirtyamanam munibir mahatmabir bhakti pravritatma rajas tamopaha. Thus, during 2 seasons, the rainy season and autumn, I had the opportunity to hear these great-souled sages, that is Mahatmas, constantly chant the unadulterated glories of the Lord Hari. Mahatma Munis there. As the flow of my devotional service began, the coverings of the modes of passion and ignorance vanished. Tasyaiva me nuraktasya prashritasya hatainasa shraddha dhanasya balasya dantasyanu charasya cha. I was very much attached to those sages. I was gentle in behavior and all my sins were eradicated in their service. In my heart, I had strong faith in them. I had subjugated the senses and I was strictly following them with body and mind. That is great fortune. Jnanam guhyatamam yattat shakshat bhagavatoditam anvavochan gamishyantah kripaya dinavatsala. As they were living, those Bhakti Vedantas, who are very kind to poor-hearted souls, instructed me in that most confidential subject which is instructed by the personality of Godhead himself. So we'll hear about this tomorrow.